the 2024 Mustang Ecoboost worth your hard-earned money? At least right now. That's the question we're gonna be answering in today's video. And if you guys aren't familiar with my content or my videos over the last couple years, you wouldn't know, but this is my 2018 Mustang Ecoboost that we've had on the channel. Like I said, for a few years now, we've done a lot of cool stuff to this car and I've really enjoyed it over the time that I've had it. But with the new 2024 Mustang coming out, is the new Ecoboost worth it? Or should you stick with the S550 chassis? There's a whole bunch of different things to kind of consider here. So in this video, we're gonna dive in to all those that I can think of at least, and we're gonna weigh it out and see if you should spend your hard-earned money on the brand new S650 Mustang Ecoboost, or stick with the older S550 and have a plethora of modifications at your disposal. So let's get straight into it. So if you're looking to get your hands on a Mustang, maybe you're going back and forth between the S550 or placing an order for the brand new S650. Well, there's a couple things that have changed as far as the engine is concerned with the S650 from what we know right now. Now, I have my phone out here because I have some notes that I've taken down to try to kind of consolidate this information and deliver it to you guys, and hopefully I get everything correct here. But there's a few things that have changed on the new engine, which I think is going to be really promising as time goes on. So let's dive into what those changes are. The biggest thing for the S650, the new 2.3 liter, is going to be its port fuel and direct injected. So what does that mean? Well, on the Ecoboost right now, and a lot of 4-cylinder turbocharged, it's only direct injected. And you may be saying, Tyler, what the heck does that matter? I guess if it's direct injected, port injected, if you squirt some fuel in, it goes boom, and I make power, I don't care. Well, there's a pretty big reason for the port fuel and direct injection on the new S650. And the best thing that I would think would be mitigating carbon buildup on the new S650, which is pretty cool. So direct injection means it injects the fuel directly into the cylinder. The backside of the valves don't get sprayed with the fuel like it would on a port injection setup. So what happens over time is that carbon starts building up on the backside of the valves, and that leads to a lack of performance over time, or a dwindling of performance over time, less efficient, and you have to eventually take the car in to get that carbon buildup cleaned out. Now, if the new car has both styles of fuel injection, which means it's going directly into the cylinder and spraying behind the valve, that means it'll knock off, that gasoline kind of cleans off the backside of the valves, and you don't get that carbon buildup, or significantly less over time. So that's a huge thing right there, and I think that's going to be, I don't know, that's probably one of the best for me. However, there is also another kind of feature with that, which we may see taken advantage of over time, and that is tuning. So aftermarket tuning with both fuel setups there, you might be able to run full E85 without running an auxiliary fuel system. If you want to run full E85 on the current gen Mustang Ecoboost, the S550, you need an auxiliary fuel setup to do it. The stock fuel system just isn't up to the task. The most you can run is E30, which is exactly what this car is running right now, which I love, by the way, side note. PD tuning, E30 tune, if you got an S550, get it, it's worth every penny. I digress, back to the topic at hand. There are some more features on the new car, and I'm going to just read them off because I can't memorize this stuff. The new 2.3 liter is gonna have new pistons, rods, camshaft, the fuel delivery system that we talked about before, air induction system, and an electronically controlled turbo. So what does that mean? Probably better fuel mileage. I'm guessing they're gonna get a couple more MPGs out of this whole thing, but hopefully they've built it up a little bit and it's gonna handle more boost over time. So if I was looking objectively as, you know, would I buy, new to the market, would I buy an S650 or an S550? Well, those couple features right there, it might be more robust than the current gen 2.3. But it's still, we still don't know. We still don't have these cars driving around on the roads yet. There hasn't been a lot to test, but it looks promising. If all of those things came into play in the new generation, I would think that it's going to be a better performer overall. Plus, from the factory, Ford's giving you 5 extra horsepower. The new one puts out 315 horsepower versus 310. I was hoping for a bigger difference there, but I don't know. We'll have to get it in the aftermarket. So basically, you have the potential, possibly, for more power. Now, I know what you're saying right here, because it's on the forefront of a lot of our minds right now. Tyler, we know the new ECUs are locked. So you're saying potential for more power. Well, these things can't be tuned, right? These cannot be tuned right now. However, we've seen it on every generation Mustang up to this point, for the most part, at least within the last like 10, 12 years or so. The ECUs are always locked from the factory, guys. The aftermarkets, they have to take time to crack them, and I know they will. It's just going to be a matter of time. If it's a year, if it's a 2-year wait, something along that lines, then we're going to get access to tuning files. It's just going to be what it is. I'm not super worried about it. However, it's not going to be done right away. So if you're like me and you like modifying this stuff and you want to get extra horsepower, you weren't satisfied maybe with the horsepower from the factory, well, you're going to be hanging out for a while until those ECUs are cracked and there's aftermarket tunes available for the S650. So kind of a little bit of a downside in my book, but you might not care about that. The other pro for the S550 is that there is so many different modifications available. I mean, you have everything exterior, you have tunes available, you have full engine builds. I mean, EMS could set you up with a full built long block. You could be making 600 plus horsepower in these cars if you really put some money and time into it. Emphasis on the money part. But as of right now, if you jump on the S650 EcoBoost train, there's nothing yet. There's nothing. We don't even have the cars yet, right? If you're into modding your car and you don't care to have the absolute newest thing out on the road, go S550 Mustang Ecoboost. Great daily driver, tons of modability, tons of aftermarket to choose from. You don't gotta worry about that at all. And you get great gas mileage, great performance. The only thing that it's kind of missing in a lot of people's eyes is the sound of the V8, which, you know, the GT's out there too, but that's a whole separate video. This one's focusing on the EcoBoost itself. So those are just a couple compare, contrast kind of things with the new S650 EcoBoost line to the S550 Mustang EcoBoost line. Which one would I go with? Honestly, I like modifying cars. I like making more power. And if I were to choose the S650 EcoBoost or the S550 EcoBoost, I would probably stick with the S550 EcoBoost before I jumped on the S650, just because the aftermarket support isn't there and it probably won't be there for a while. Now, it doesn't mean you can't make them look really killer. I saw a lot of the RTR stuff, RTR parts unveiled, and I kind of like them, but looks are subjective. We're not really talking about that. Looks department, I think we did all right with the S550. But as you know, I will be moving on to the S650 GT once that order process finishes up at some point, hopefully sometime this year. And yeah, the story will continue. But guys, that's all I wanted to say. If you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I would even more so appreciate you hitting that little subscribe button down there. We're shooting for 5,000 subscribers. We're getting close, and I'd appreciate it if you stuck on this journey with me. New videos every week. And if you like the video, you like the Mustang content, hit the like button. That helps me out. It lets me know that you guys kind of like what we're doing here. And of course, I appreciate all you guys watching. So with all that being said, you guys have a great day. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye.